We are happening on this fine Tuesday. Thank you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Victorious Voices. My name is Niki Martinez. My pronouns are she, her, we. We are going to be Takeover Tuesday. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We have an amazing, amazing guest, Ms. Gabby Soriano, the queen of YE, co-founder, mother, sister, daughter, active parent coordinator for our schools here, and an amazing mentor for our youth and a leader in so many different levels. So we're going to have an amazing conversation with her. I'm going to pass it over to Arthur.
Hello, my name is Arthur Soriano. My pronouns are he, him, is, and Victorious Voices.
And this is what we're doing. So before we get started and having this amazing conversation, and Gabby's so excited to be here, right? Just thrilled. Can you see it in her face? She's elated to be here. I love it.
So grateful to be here.
So I want to, of course, start out with a quote. As you all know, like I sit back, I ruminate, I kind of pray, I kind of think about what's going to happen and how the conversation can be led. And Gabby is definitely one of my mentors as far as like a strong woman, as far as somebody that I look up to. I admire so very much because of her strength, her resilience, and just what it is that she's been able to deposit in my life since I've been home. So I think about her. So I found a quote and it says, "We need women who are strong, so strong that they can be gentle, so educated that they can be humble, so fierce that they can be compassionate, so passionate that they can be rational, and so disciplined that they can be free." And that's by Kavita Ramdas. And when I read that, there were so many quotes that stood out to me because just you're amazing. You're a powerful warrior, like beast mode, like constantly, but you always have that humility. You're always humble. You're always grateful. You're always present. I see what you give and how you deliver it, despite your adversities, despite your challenges, despite anything that's going on, you know how to just be extremely present and loving and compassionate. And so I truly, truly admire that about you. So that's the quote that spoke to me specifically about you this morning. There was a bunch of warrior ones like, "I'll slay it," and "watch out world," and I'll look at the face of bestiality and I'll wink at it because I got this, because you're a strong warrior and an amazing queen. So thank you. Yes, absolutely. So how you feeling today, boss?
Today I feel peaceful. I've had a rough week, but today I feel peaceful, excited, motivated. I'm excited to be at work. We took a week off. I took a week off of just planning Ted Wells' funeral for my stepdad. So that was a challenge. But now we're, as a family, coming at peace with the terms, and we want to live for him now, and just live his dream and be present and being there for our families, create role models. So today I feel peaceful.
Awesome. Thank you. How you feeling yet? I'm feeling anxious.
How I'm feeling today. Thank you everybody for having me here today. Excited to see what it's gonna bring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, dun, 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 dun. So here's a back end. Of course, not everybody knows, but Gabby Soriano is my wife. When we founded Youth Empowerment, I remember it was her and I at first, just running around like a chicken with our heads cut off. She had the full-time work, I had the part-time work, and then just building, volunteering, building relationships. Youth Empowerment would not be Youth Empowerment with Gabby Soriano. We began to have kids, right? And so she took a few years off, and she said she would never officially work for Youth Empowerment. No, hell no, I ain't no work big cheap. But now she's in it, and I am a little jealous because now she's working so much. I don't get my 5 meals a week no more, right?
Wow.
But I am okay with that. I want to see her grow and be the best lady and powerful woman that she is. She's such an inspiration to the youth individuals, the parents, and she has a lot of momentum. And she's excited to be a part of the process, to work with communities. So I just wanted to say that really quick. And I want to ask you a question, Gabby Soriano. Like, can you tell us a little bit about your upbringings and what did that look like? What did that feel like? You raised in East San Diego City Heights.
So I grew up right here, just right here down the street, 44th Street. I lived with my mom and my dad, who are still together to this day. And we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with my siblings. I had 2 brothers and I have 2 sisters. So it was the 7 of us in a 1-bedroom little unit. So we grew up kind of like a little bit struggling, I guess you could say, like most, immigrant families that come here to the U.S., So I was born in Tijuana. We were here since I was about 4 years old. So basically grew up here. We, faced some of the same struggles that a lot of us that grew up around here or in similar communities have. My dad was a gardener, landscape engineer, if you could call that. My mom was a housekeeper, and so they tried their best, to raise us right, and they instilled good values and morals in us. Unfortunately, we, decided to go different routes for some time. My brothers and my sister and I, we made some pretty poor choices growing up in the neighborhood that we grew up in, and I guess it kind of sounds like a cliche to say like a product of your environment, but it was what we knew. It was the culture that we learned coming from a Mexican family, traditional Mexican family that, had no idea what gangs and what drugs and what like the culture that brings this type of lifestyle is. They just didn't have no idea what was going on with their kids. And we took advantage of that. And so we, eventually ended up lost in addiction or in the ways of the street, and so that's a little short story of like where my life began. Eventually I ended up meeting my husband about 10 years ago. And we met in addiction, we met doing bad together, up to no good. But at that moment we were able to realize that and realize that we needed some change in our life. And we did just that. We turned it around completely. And soon after all of that, then that's when we started Youth Empowerment at Toronto Park, began from nothing, and here we are. I don't know if that's like a brief little
Well, slayed it. You slayed it.
Excellent, slayed it. And the father-in-law and the mother-in-law, they're just great people. Just a great heart, always there present, like for all their kids, their grandkids, like how do you say that when they're
great grandkids,
great grandkids, like, and to me that's a big blessing because, our kids, Joshua, Catalina, Nani, they get to connect with their cousins at that age.
Yeah.
Right? So they have a whole crew. How many?
I don't even know. It's not all out of all.
She's like, don't make me do the numbers.
There's a lot. That's for sure.
So you mentioned like living in a unit, 7 individuals as a family living together, sharing space, couches, room, etc. So how long ago was that?
A long time ago. I'll say straight up. I was born in 1981, and we lived there probably from like 85, and that was like the bigger unit that we had. Like, so before that, it was like little shacks. So I want to say like 89 to like 90, 97 is the time that we lived there.
Yeah, but also like a compliment to your mom and dad, like that's how they started, and then they worked hard.
Yeah, they were hardworking parents, and by the time I think I was about 14 years old or so, almost 14 or so, we bought a house. Well, they bought a house in Golden Hills, and it was a lot nicer than where we lived at before. That's where they're still at right now, actually, South Park. And so they worked hard, and they they were able to achieve the dreams that they had, which was, buy a house for their family. That was one of their main dreams, and another one would be to like see their kids succeed.
Yeah. And so we talked about 89. Fast forward, we're in 2022. You're a parent coordinator at Monroe Clark.
Yeah.
What is there any similar struggles going on?
So being the parent coordinator at Monroe Clark is really fascinating to me. Like I get really excited to go to work because I work with I work with a lot of the families that like have been through the same struggles as I have, so it's really, really like, it's really satisfying to my soul, like to be able to like help and like to be able to like be that bridge between the parents and their children and like help them like understand to some degree what it is that their kids could be going through, or the kind of struggles that they face being in junior high or middle school, So it's something that's really passionate for me.
And also myself, we're called Youth Empowerment, but we have all kinds of several different programs. One of the ones that my wife and I are really passionate about is the Parents on a Mission.
Yes.
And why are we passionate about that?
The reason why I am passionate about that, I don't know about you, but the reason why I'm passionate about it was because in the process of, my addiction and my struggles, when I was a young mom, I didn't really know how to be a mom, and I did a lot of I made a lot of mistakes as a parent, and even with my 15-year-old, with my two older ones, somewhat like the little, the 15-year-old, but more or less with my son, with my oldest son, I think I inflicted a lot of harm in his life by my choices. So when I took POM, it was like I thought I was doing better now that I was doing good and, like being a better mom. But like, it was more or less like an eye opener, like, and it put a lot of things in perspective for me. It was like, oh, like you could actually do better than that, like, so it was like, I guess kind of like a guidebook on like how to like be a parent, and like what things that I could put into, what things I could use with my kids, I guess, like some things that I never even knew. Like, I was like, man, I didn't even think about that. But like just an eye opener on like, how to be a good parent, and have a relationship with your child that's like meaningful and like that they trust and that you trust. So I think that like was my main reason for like falling so much in love with this curriculum and with this workshop.
And, I have my reasons as well. Like I just barely became a dad. I was in prison most of my life. So I didn't know how to be a stepdad. I didn't know how to be a dad, period. And just after taking that curriculum and then becoming a facilitator, it teaches on personal development, right? With personal development, it teaches characteristics. With characteristics, it teaches leadership by the parents role modeling and learning. Because guess what? Being a parent is one of the hardest things that you could do in your life. Like, woo!
I know. That's why when people try and sign me up for it, I'm like, no, thank you. I'll pass. Appreciate the consideration, but no, thank you. Did I offend you? Do you hate me? Why would you want that for my life? No, thank you. And then he comes in and he's like, oh my God, parenting. And I'm like, yeah, again, no, thank you. But I also took Parents on a Mission, and I'm not a parent. And I got so much out of that class. It was so beneficial because I work with the youth, and I understand that in order to heal a community, you have to also learn how to heal yourself, and taking that inventory and doing that. Like you said, the characteristics, the things that you end up looking at through Parents on a Mission was extremely beneficial working in the schools, And it's just like you said, it's all about development, I think it gets to the point to where, do you want to become a better human being, and what is that going to look like? And if there's something that you can do, whether you believe that you're going to benefit from it or not, taking that experience and taking the time to have that experience, you have nothing to lose but to grow when you go into it with that mindset. And I think that's because you had to kind of like almost convince me to take Parents on a Mission when I had first started. You know, he was just like, you should take it. And I'm like, why? I'm not a parent. I don't need to be a parent. You know? And he was like, no, seriously, like you should take it. And he sold it. And I realized I seen it. And that was, you know, shame on me for not wanting to put myself in a space where I could learn and grow. So yeah.
And there's other individuals, like Rachel wasn't a parent. Like she took the curriculum, and guess what?
She's a parent.
Now she's a parent.
Yep.
You know, a year later she becomes a parent. So these are just tools to have under your toolbox.
And I just want to say real quick, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a perfect parent still, even though like we still have our struggles, but it's a lot better than what it used to be. My relationship with my kids is a lot better. And I want to be able to provide that or like instill that in our community, in our parents here in our community so that they can have that reward with their kids.
Yeah. And so definitely excited about the Cinco de Mayo event at Clark. Some momentum. And what's the vision with parents there? What's the vision with parents there at Monroe Park?
A lot of the parents, they're like, you know, they were struggling with connecting with the school staff. So our presence there has been a bit, you know, like uplifting to them. Just, you know, the fact that there's someone there that could relate to them, that could understand them. So the vision would be, I would say, just to be more involved with their kids, to be able to have these tools for themselves. So they're just as excited, I could say.
Okay. That's excellent.
If I could say that's their vision, you know?
Yeah. And that's, we're just speaking vision on like what we see the parents, like the parents have ultimately all the solutions.
Right.
You know, we could offer youth program after youth program and groups and evidence-based practice, but we need to have that relationship with the parent.
Right.
So, because in the end, the families are the ones that are going to be able to be present. Because guess what? If a kid comes to a home where there's drug addiction, absence of parents, no parents, grandmothers, guardians stepping in like 60, 80 years old, trying to look out for the kids, right? Because the mother took off and she's out there on the streets on addiction. These are all the realities that we're experiencing now.
Yeah.
The realities of the kids. You know, we seen one at Chuck E. Cheese the other day. With Joshua's birthday, we had Chuck E. Cheese, and how did I feel seeing this little kid?
Oh, it felt good. And I'm not even gonna say the word, but I really like this kid. I really like this kid. Like he warms my heart every time I see him. He's always like, "Hey, Gabby," you know, and I'm just like, every time I see him, I'm like, "Aw," you know. And then I see him there, and he's like, "Hi, Miss Gabby from way across." So it's like, so I felt really good, you know. Like it felt really good too, you know.
Yeah. And you know, I want to commend you, and not only you and Joseph and Eddie and Maria and Steve and William and Tyrell. He's coming in. He's gonna start Wednesday, so you guys gonna have some extra support. He's a former coach for kids, so he's gonna come in motivated.
Yes.
He might not know what he's getting into, but I could motivate.
It's okay. He's that energy all day.
So I'm just, as a husband, I'm very proud of you. I know I'm not the perfect husband all the time, but you know I love you, and I'm there for you. And we've been through our challenges and struggles, and at the end of the day, we find a way how to communicate.
Yes.
Right? Communication. Oh, so
thank you.
You guys are adorable, and I swear this is the role model of what a real couple, amazing couple looks like right here, real life, in person, on display for you all to see. I swear they're really, really amazing. No relationship is perfect, you know, but the resilience that you all have and the communication and the love that you guys have for each other, for your family, and then for the community, not everybody's able, you know, and you guys show up 1,000% every day and do it and do it and do it, you know. So I'm saying, Gabby, I'm grateful to know you. I'm grateful for everything that you've extended to me, like in your home. Like you've just loved on me since I've been home, and you're my queen. You're my queen that I look up to, you know, like you're my role model, you know. So
See, I didn't get
Like I
the way she looked in her eyes. That was,
amazing. You're amazing.
what's your message? It's Women's History Month. Like, what's your message for these women out there? What's your message for them?
I would have to go with like lead by example. Be a leader and show the rest of these young ladies, or even grown ladies around you, like that, things can be done, and to persevere.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, yes. You see? Well,
That's like, okay,
All right. So I'm just gonna close.
you'll be a keynote speaker and she's trained.
Speaking. Step up to the plate, brother man. Step up to the plate. So that just slides us a good segue right into. I want to remind everybody that we have an upcoming fundraiser on June 4th, 2022. It's our Heal event, from trauma to triumph. It's gonna be an amazing experience. Actually, Chef Jeff is going to be our keynote speaker. He's going to be there to provide inspiration, speak life into all it is that we are doing and everybody that's present. So we encourage you to be a part of that. It would be an amazing experience to be able to do that. So the name of our fundraiser is going to be Heal, and that's honoring empowerment, advocacy, and leadership. So I just want to throw that invitation out there. There's going to be online opportunities for you all to save the date for June 4th. There'll be online opportunities for you all to purchase tickets. So we're hoping to get everybody there, get involved, see what we're doing, have an opportunity to be with our youth that are going to be there also, as strong representation of everything that we're doing right now. And also, too, I want to just kind of throw it out there. We're going to be hitting people individually and personally, but we also have a training that's going to happen on the 28th. And if you all are interested in being mentors for the schools, and it has to be lived experience individuals that have done some type of mentoring and facilitation, we want to provide that opportunity. Reach out to us personally so we can include you in that opportunity. We want to be able to elevate people. We want to be able to bring people on that have the experience, that are lived experience individuals, and provide you with opportunities to help you grow in a community and with an organization that provides hope for our youth, right? And then
I just want to add real quick.
Ooh,
It's not going to be no hoax, no robot. Like the Heal event, if Niki and I were flooding you with social media, the messengers, and it's the real deal, right? And so I know there's been a lot of interest already, communication. So if you see that flyer, that's what we're talking about.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So put a pen in it and don't forget about it. So the other thing I want to say is, of course, you can follow us on social media. Engagement helps us get the word out. If you enjoy what we're talking about and you enjoy what the messages that we're giving, then please, 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 by all means, share our mission, share our message with individuals. That helps us help other people as well. And then you can also sign up for our newsletter on our website. If you get a chance, check out our website. We're doing amazing things. Still constantly active and moving and grooving and doing the shimmy in San Diego, making magic happen, because that's what we do. So I want to send a closeout quote for you all, for you amazing women out there, for all of you folks that are just thriving, right? Or even maybe feeling like you're knocked down with life right now. I just want to keep you encouraged. So here's to all the strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them. So with that, we're out. Victorious voices, y'all.